Our next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Natasha. I'm the Deputy Coordinator for Veterans for Peace, Chicago. I was born and raised in Inglewood. I'm a CPS alum, and now I'm a proud King College Prep parent. My daughter's a freshman and an honor roll student. Along with my team, I help lead the effort to replace the entire local school council at King College Prep. I look forward to working with you all for the 2018-20 school year. I wish I had a lot of time to talk about the perils of militarization in lieu of education. I'm confident that this board should be aware of the details because my colleagues have been here over the years kind of explaining that. So I feel deeply in my position and my experience to share with you the personal aspects that you may not know when you lead 90% of the current enrolled, or excuse me, over 9,000 students currently enrolled in JROTC or militarized training, 90% of them being Black and Latino. I can tell you from my experience that Chicago being the most militarized school system in the nation, with also the largest militarized recruitment centers in the nation somehow, that when I always bumped into people from Chicago, it never dawned on me why. Because it starts right here. I was recruited, and I'm telling you that because I'm a product of JROTC, and then across 20 years in the Air Force, my military record speaks for itself. My experience and my decorations tell you that I participated in a program that didn't serve my moral and my personal being well. So when you're sitting here and you're saying, while some people have a narrow view of their military experience, that is not the norm that's currently happening today. I had some printouts for you, but I had printer issues, so I'll definitely deliver those via email because I think it's important for you to know that there are currently people that are dealing with institutional racism, and I'm not nervous about this, but I get excited when I'm talking about this stuff because I think it's important to talk about, right? And it also takes me back to the times where I experienced this type of dysfunction. So I just want to, as I close, I just really want you all to understand that there's a people factor to this to the recruitment tools of expanding militarized training in lieu of education. And I am asking you all to invite us to the table so that veterans who have seen this war and are struggling to survive can help you understand why it's not a good idea.
Thank you, Ms. Erickson. Our next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Adam Dowd. Thank you for allowing me to speak here today. I'm a person of privilege. I grew up in a middle-class, white household in one of the best public schools in Minnesota. I'm a seminarian at the Lutheran School of Theology in Chicago. I'm also a 7-year active duty Army veteran. I'm a father of 2, and I was economically drafted into the military. For the sake of my children and all the children in CPS, I'm morally opposed to ROTC in their schools. The idea of going to war was normalized for me at a very young age. I remember going to music class and watching the World Trade Centers collapse, and then making a flipbook about it in art. In high school, I remember doing push-ups to earn keychains and water bottles from recruiters. I've spent the majority of my life in school, and the majority of my life, the United States has been fighting wars across the globe. The military and school, the military in school, and the military as school have dominated my life. When my family couldn't afford college tuition after the 2001 dot-com bust, I didn't give a second thought to joining the Army. I liked adventures and I liked being outdoors. My previous experiences with the military and school had taught me that they're pretty much the same thing, right? Being in the Reserve Officer Training Corps and my time on active duty Army, I spent 12 years putting on a uniform. If you're wondering how that worked out for me, I am now a member of an organization called Veterans for Peace. If you're not familiar with Veterans for Peace, we are a global organized military of veterans and allies whose collective efforts are to build a culture of peace by using our voices and experiences. We inform the public of the true causes of war and their enormous costs. Our obligation is to heal the wounds of war. Our Chicago chapter realizes the dangers of normalizing violence and militarization of our children, specifically our Black and brown children who are most targeted by recruiters. I'm here today as a seminarian, a veteran, and a father, but most importantly, I'm here as a person who is morally bound to the liberation of all peoples. Violence is ever present for our children. They know, many of them know the cost of it and the effects effects of it too much. I urge you to stop normalizing militarization and violence by removing ROTC from Chicago public schools and instead find other opportunities like choir so they don't have to rely on
Thank you,
war and
Mr. Gadd.
violence as a resolution strategy.
Thank you. Our next speaker, please.